We're going to go straight to the press. Who has the first question?
I got tons of them.
Please.
Yeah. Rob here with McDojo Life. I have been at every one of the karate combat events that have allowed people to come in and patron and watch the events live. And every event, everything's gotten a little tighter, a little better, a little more fun. I personally feel like this event has been the best event. You had 2 fights right off the bat that went to 4 rounds, which was incredible. Then right after that, you had 2 knockouts back-to-back right after that. I mean, how do you feel about this event as compared to all the other events?
I think it was, last event, we just moved to a new location, and it's always difficult, and I think the team made the changes while we had to. The card came together very nicely. We've got a lot of new guys, a lot of new talent, and I'm very happy of how KC39 turned out. The energy, the vibe, everybody had an amazing time. I think this was, one of our good events, and this was only our second event in 2023, and it won't be hard to beat it because we always improve like 10%. That's my mentality and everybody's, that let's fix the small mistakes and just be 10% better each and every time. So, and it is compounding. So, I think this event turned out really well.
Yeah, you were just talking about every time things get notched up, everything gets a little better every time. I was actually talking to the gentleman who runs your YouTube now. We got a whole bunch of guys from Haymakers, which is super smart move, great people, all who work really well together. And I noticed that tonight it seemed more packed than usual. Do you have any plans to expand and maybe host more people in the future?
Yeah, sure. At the same time, the whole intimacy of the venue, what we have, it's different. So I think we go step by step, and let's fill the room each and every time, and then move forward again. Maybe just 10%. I think last time we had around 700 people. Now, and it was a sold out show, but we saw that there are a little room for more, and I think it was around 800 now. But yeah, I mean, it's a special. Every seat is a VIP seat. The whole pit side experience is special. I believe that this is the best platform in combat sports. Nothing is comparable. The cage, on TV, it's fine because the cameras don't need to go through the cage, but the on-site experience for people watching MMA is not as good as this one. Same with the ring, and we want to keep it this way. And whatever works, just do it. Same in martial arts, right? If a technique is working well, don't change. And I'm a big believer of whatever works, do it again. Try to improve a little bit, but don't make major changes.
Yeah, well, there's no bad seats in the house. That's a fact, because I take videos all over the place, and they all look good. I did have one more question. I was talking to Ray, and Ray, he has the all-star team, and that's been something he's been working on for a long time. And I noticed there was a lot of new fighters this time. Do you have plans on expanding the roster?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to do many shows this year. And by 2024, we want to get to a place where we're doing 1 show per month minimum. And for that, you need more people, more available people, and we're always on a lookout for new talent. And I think this card was almost like 50% of the guys were new. But if you zoom out, you couldn't tell that who was the new and who was the one who had like the 10th fight. Actually, the main event guys, they were the ones who looked like not as confident and not as willing to engage as the guys who came here to prove a point at their debut.
Yeah, hands down, the whole card was amazing. And you definitely could tell that the guys at the end were a little more timid.
Yeah.
I guess that there's more on the line, don't want to make a mistake, all that good stuff. But that leads me to the next question, which is a good one for me because I love stuff like this. But you have plans on expanding the roster. Do you have any prospects that you're excited about?
Sure. I mean, this card was full with new people. Elijah is somebody who comes into my mind first because, stepping in a pit is difficult. Even if you won all the medals and the belts elsewhere on a mat, this is something else. And, his buddies, Ray and Ross and Robbie, they were, putting some pressure on the guy because they said, he's really good. And we had high expectation. But he delivered, and he delivered big time. And I really can't wait to see him again. And, if we can keep on finding talent like him, or, it's difficult because he's really good. But, that really shows the path of karate combat as it's present and as its future. And he's definitely somebody to look out for in the upcoming cards because we try to put him back in the pit as soon as we can.
Absolutely. And this is my last one, by the way. When it comes down to it, that was somebody on this card. Do you have any prospects that haven't fought yet that you're excited about bringing into karate combat? We've got too many guys, who we're looking at, from different countries, from the U.S. But I just want to talk about the guys who were on this card. Another guy I would name is Ignacio. He didn't win the fight, but Stan Kunas came in, and I think it was like a 2-week short notice. But Ignacio showed, he's a warrior. Arroyo, that was the fight didn't end in a way that everybody was expecting, including myself. But there was this one too where he showed who he is, and the heavyweights, Zach was doing great, and Ádám Ramos was also, coming from a WKF background without any full contact experience, and he was a beast. But Zach figured him out. So I really, really enjoyed that fight. So a lot of new talent, and this is really good for the league. Thank you.
Matt Tyson here from the Mac and Mal Karate Hour. You mentioned that Ignacio was a warrior. Does that mean that we might see him back in the pit?
Yes, no, absolutely. Wouldn't you? I mean, it was a great fight. He had, he's got the experience. He had over 100 kickboxing fights. I think this was the 4th for Stankunas, so that's a big advantage. And Stankunas is not bad. He's always here to fight, and you need time in a pit. You could have like 100 fights in the ring, but as I said, this is a different spot, and I want to see him back.
So the token holders actually had Stankunas as the overwhelming favorite in this matchup, despite Ignacio's impressive kickboxing record. Do you think that's?
I think they didn't really check the facts. Yeah, not all of them. I didn't want to disappoint, but I think you can't ignore his accomplishments in kickboxing, taekwondo. So I was surprised how good Stankunas did, actually.
And that's why we fight, right?
Yeah.
To settle it, odds are odds, but at the end of the day, it's about the athletes. And man, I have to ask about Elijah.
Yeah.
I mean, this was his first pro fight ever. Of course, he's had plenty of competition. Like his first, you're getting a paycheck for this. And the way he just went out, and he wasn't afraid to pull the trigger at all, let his hands go, and then comes up with this crazy Mortal Kombat finishing sequence that was, it's like a video game. I mean, do you guys have performance bonuses or something along those lines? Did maybe he?
We've got in their contracts. We've got built-in bonuses for finishes.
Oh, nice.
We call it an Ippon bonus, and he's gonna get that bonus now. But it almost feels like we don't even know how good he is yet, because he didn't give us the chance, to see it. Because I don't know, what was it? The first minute,
49 seconds.
49 seconds. So I want to see him fight more. I want to see a round, maybe two.
I think
because
everybody does.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
How soon do you think you would have him back? I mean, quick fight. Hopefully, no injuries happened in that under a minute.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know about if he's got any injuries or what he wants to do. Our next card is June 24th, is pretty soon, but then we'll be back with another one. So I think, within 2-3 months maybe we're gonna, look at the card, and it's also up to him as well, because we might have some openings in the lightweight division, and maybe he just wanna fill in and go ahead.
Speaking of the lightweight division, title on the line in the main event, two guys who are, very, very familiar with one another. There were moments where it kind of felt as a little bit of a sparring match.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did get that knockdown late in the fight. Do you think it's the familiarity that kind of was the cause of the hesitation on both ends? Maybe too much respect being shown on either side.
Yeah, I think so. And when the fight ended, I went in there, and the fact that Luis started to kind of explain what happened there, it also explains that it's not exactly what we all wanted to see. I wasn't super happy about the fight, to be honest, because I understand you're friends, I understand you know each other, but it's not the best example for the non-champions, right? Like if you're the champion, you need to show why you're the champion. If you're the challenger, you need to show why you are the challenger. And I love both of those guys, but this wasn't the best performance they can do, and they didn't pull the trigger. And it's a learning experience for us as well, that we shouldn't put friends in the pit together, or Bruno was fighting in April, now he got the shot. So if I was a bigger asshole, I would go inside and say this is a title fight, a championship fight. You need to fight and not just wait. And I understand, they know each other very well. They know each other's coach or coaches, so they know, and both of them are from Brazil, so they heard whatever the corner was telling the opponent, so that makes it even more easy to understand, what might come. But I would say that two movement from Luis, the spinning back kick, the Ushiro Mawashi, and that knockdown, that was amazing.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
And if you can pull that off, he's unlucky, because that could finish a fight, and now everybody would talk about that one kick which finished the fight. But you're the champion, and you can do things like this, then do it. Right. And Bruno is a difficult opponent, and he's smart, so he didn't give any chance for Luis to put the target on and then shoot, for sure. But still, I was expecting more from these guys.
And maybe it wouldn't have felt, the way it did, maybe as slow as it was, if the rest of the night wasn't so electric.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we just started with a banger, and it just kind of kept going and kept going. So maybe that played into it a little bit.
Yeah. And especially because last show it was the opposite, right? Mm-hmm. It went slow, and then Ross finished the night with a spectacular finish. Mm-hmm. Now it was the first part of the card. The prelims were amazing, and then with the main card, it was a little bit and the crowd, except the Shazaev and Tomiyazu's fight, that was a good one, and especially with the aftermath.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. So a bit of a brawl breaks out. The match ends. I guess the coaches or some of the teammates started going at it. Fighter jumps on the top of the pit, throws his mouthpiece, his coach is throwing water bottles, launches a chair. But, I mean, it seemed like security did a great job of really extinguishing that. I mean, brawls can really get crazy.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you had just the right amount of security here? And what do you think you can do to maybe prevent, I mean, because the goat shed camp is very aggressive, right? And do you think maybe you'll ask them to tone it down or just maybe
I did.
more security? Okay.
I did before, and I wouldn't say they are aggressive. They are using their skills of understanding how the warfare works, and they're good at it. What I didn't like, honestly, is that we had 30 people from Goat Shed, and this is not their fault, but we had these two French brothers, right? And they stood their ground, they were willing to go. So like that was impressive. And throughout the whole week, the amount of shit they got from Goat Shed it was something difficult to take. And Tommy went in and he almost finished Shazaib, right? So he was a warrior, and I think, and it was short notice again, like maybe 10 days, maybe a week or so. So he's going to be back in a pit, and, I told the Goat Shed guys to tone it down a little bit. But the problem is that it was too late, because, the whole thing didn't pop because of what happened today. It was because of what happened during fight week. So we need to be, things happen. It's the fight game, fight business, security did good. I think we still have a little holes on, how we handle fighter walk-ins and walkouts, because we, these guys are so respective. You don't really expect that much of beef or anything along those lines, but we have to be prepared. And thanks God, nothing major happened. But Ian Gary was there around with the little baby, and there were some chairs flying around. So yeah, we need to be on top of it, and the teams need to respect each other more. And I think the fighters can beef with each other, but the teams shouldn't get that much involved, or just at least have an equal ground for it. Because imagine we had like 30 guys from France.
Oh yeah.
And also so some people from the audience were throwing stuff at Tommy's coach's brother Kevin. So it wasn't that just like he started the fight. So yeah, not good. It happened. It is what it is. Hopefully next time this won't happen.
Dude, he fought on short notice, and he did that good. I can't wait to see him fight again.
Yeah, but I knew he's gonna do this, and that's why I wanted this fight to happen, because honestly, the fight with Gabriel Varga is not a fight we can, Gabriel Varga is, one of the best guys, but what he did before with Mitchell Thorpe, that was a very, close fight. So I knew that he's going to do well.
Well, congratulations on an excellent event.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any other questions from Chris?
Good evening. My name is Abby from the Fight Space podcast. Many of the senseis that I've spoken to have expressed their gratitude that a format like Karate Combat exists. How does it feel knowing you've created a platform for a new generation of combat sports athletes?
That's why we're doing it, and to make karate cool again, and to create a platform for karate guys, strikers, so that they don't have to do MMA if they don't want to. And it's a mission. I've been a karate fighter myself, and I competed every weekend, and I always thought that we deserve much better, because the level of the fighters, the amount of work they put in, or we put in back in the days, is not less than any other major sports or professional sports. So there needs to be a platform where these athletes can showcase great they are. And like today we had a fighters meeting, and this is what I told them. This is their chance to show how great they are, and there are not many chances in life. Maybe you get like 1, maybe 10, maybe 20 if you're like a pro fighter. And some of them showed that the platform what we're building, they're ready to use it to grow and to shine.
Absolutely. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, Adam.
Thank you so much, guys.